Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with the support you need to finish your book. Best part is, after you finish your book, they take care of the entire publishing and marketing process 100% for you. So, if you want to become a successful author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have a good friend of mine on, and as the Maven agency founder and a 20-year communication veteran, Joscelyn Duffy helps executives, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs hone their unique voices, deliver their world-changing ideas, and build bona fide personal brands. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Tyler. It's great to reconnect.
Of course. Grateful to have you on. So the first question we ask on this show, Joscelyn, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Well, we just kind of touched on this one initially. Yeah. Tyler and I had kind of like a year or two gap in since we've really deeply connected. So everyone will be listening into this big story. I said, I have quite a story for you. And it's that I've defied death not once but twice in the face of life-threatening illness. And this includes learning to walk again, all the while sustaining my business. And this really happened when I was doing everything by the book in terms of honoring my mind, body, and soul. So I think the underlying and valuable message is that there's always a dance between what life brings our way and what we choose to create from it. And what I've really learned from that personal journey is that human potential is boundless. Right? We can create whatever we desire to create regardless of our circumstances. Because I'm not supposed to be alive right now. 2 years ago, I was told I was going to die. I'm not supposed to be able to walk 5 miles a day or bike 20 a day. I'm not supposed to be living drug-free, and I'm not supposed to be running a thriving international communication company, though I am, because I believe that these perceived odds are really just opportunities in disguise. When we choose to defy them and use them as opportunities for wisdom gaining and growth, that gold that we can bring forth and use in our messaging, our brands, and our business to help others, that's how we really create magic and create opportunities regardless of our circumstances.
And then what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Well, I was thinking one, Tyler, that relates to both of us, because I know we both have a love for books, and yes. I go straight to 15 of them and consulted on hundreds of others. And one thing I love to say that's, that really strikes a chord with many is that an idea for a book is never an idea for a book. It's an idea for a brand. And most of us know this, but we don't capitalize on the opportunity to build something multimedia and universal in terms of personal branding from the get-go. We have this idea for a book, and it often stems from our lived experiences, whether that's something adventurous like thriving in business or something adverse like overcoming life-threatening illness. And we have this idea for a book, quote unquote, and we feel rushed to get it out. Right? We sit down, we push through 50, 60, 75,000 words as fast as humanly possible. But to those listening in, I'm begging you, please don't. Because it's so much harder to organize those 50, 60, or 75,000 words after the fact than it is to start with a strategic on-brand structure from the book, something that can transcend the book. And B, we're missing a huge opportunity by diving in before stepping back, because that idea is really intended to be more than a book. And done right from the start, we can create this model, this program, and this personal brand that transfers from the book into a course, a talk, a corporate training program, whatever you desire to create with your business.
I love that answer. And then it could kind of tie in some respects. So what's your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
For me, what I've learned is really the importance of building a team of collaborators and supporters, especially cheerleaders. As we know, there's so many critics in the world. We don't need to gather more critics. We need to gather more cheerleaders. And the reason being, kind of stepping back to my original point, is that human potential, right? When we have cheerleaders around us, they remind us of our potential. They remind us of our unique gifts, just like we're going out and asking your clients for testimonials. And you start to look for those parallels, those similar words that appear in various pieces of feedback and testimonials, and you realize your real unique value and just how big you can make your business when you give that to the world in the fullest way possible. And by having these strategic collaborators and cheerleaders around us, you're building a team, even if you're getting started like a small team and outsourcing the tasks that aren't in your zone of genius, it really allows you to, what I like to say, own your zone, right? To dedicate the great majority of your time to doing what you do brilliantly.
And then if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
This will sound interesting. So I would tell my younger self, you don't have to get it all done today. The joy is in the journey. And I know that, I'm all about high performance and efficiency, but being young, I really struggled with, and a young adult, I wanted to get everything done, like maximize every moment. The problem was that I wasn't really stepping back to celebrate in the achievements or to really, step back and smell those roses, both personally and professionally. And I think as entrepreneurs, this is important because we're driven to get things done, though it's important to take that time to really appreciate and re-energize.
And a little bit, actually it does tie in, but kind of going a little bit down a different path. In your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Simply put, it's doing what you love with people you love every day, period. I've been granted this chance to live again twice in my life. And that's really what it comes back to. It's such happiness and joy every day because of the people I get to work with and having created this dream business. I wrote a quote a couple of years ago where it was like, when I was young, I used to dream of a life where I got to create 24/7. And then I decided it was time to create my dream life. So doing what I love with people I love. And I think it's really just that simple. We overcomplicate it sometimes. So if you're not doing what you love with people you love, find a way to change that. Because all we all have is this moment right here, right now. So let's make the most of it.
And speaking of books again, what is the best book that you've read and what was the number one thing you learned from it?
Well, being Canadian, I have to go with international leadership guru Robin Sharma's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It was one of the first spiritual books that I read, but the biggest thing that I've learned from it is how the spiritual, the psychological, and the deeply personal can be melded with our pragmatic worlds to create something that really has maximum impact, resonance, and value for our audience.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that book is incredible. I love that book.
Right. I've read it a few times, and Robin's an amazing teacher.
Yes. And then what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote would be Joseph Campbell's quote. It says, "Life has no meaning. Each of us have meaning and we bring it to life. It's a waste of time to be asking the question when you are the answer." And my work is so much about meaning making. It's about helping others create meaning from their lived experiences by teaching what they've learned, right? Through those times of adventure, those times of adversity, really extracting those golden nuggets of wisdom and knowledge that we can contribute to create growth and ease of life for others, for our audiences, no matter what facet of life or business you're teaching or working in. And we create more meaningful lives, and there's psychology to support this. We create more meaningful lives when we intersect our personal lives, our personal passions with what we're doing in work, and when we find a way to transcend our own self-interest and serve the greater good for all.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before we let you go is, where can our audience best find you online?
Well, thanks for having me, and I welcome everyone to join me at my virtual home, which is joscelynduffy.com, and my spelling it's SEO friendly. It's JOSCELYNDUFFY, so you'll find me easily. And it's at Joscelyn Duffy on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'd love to see everybody there.
Perfect. Thank you again for coming on.
Thanks, Tyler.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.